My relatives assumed I couldn't understand their native language. I've been fluent since I was 8. My father is Korean, my mother is white. When they divorced, I stayed with my mom in Ohio while my dad moved back to Seoul. I was 6. My mom, despite everything that happened between them, insisted I learn Korean. She hired tutors, bought language programs, and video called my dad every weekend so I wouldn't lose that part of myself. By 8, I was fluent. By 12, I was reading Korean novels. By 16, I could switch between formal and informal speech without thinking. But here's the thing. I only visited my Korean relatives twice during childhood, both times when I was very young. They remembered a toddler who couldn't string sentences together. When my grandmother got sick and I flew to Seoul at 24 to help, they saw a grown woman who looked more like her white mother than her Korean father. They assumed I'd grown up American in every way. They never once considered I might understand every word they said. The first dinner was overwhelming. Aunts, uncles, cousins I barely remembered, all packed into my grandmother's apartment. They spoke to me in broken English, simple sentences, lots of hand gestures. I played along, nodding and smiling, responding in basic phrases. It felt easier than explaining my fluency. Then they switched to Korean among themselves, and the real conversations began. My aunt Ji-young complained that I'd shown up empty-handed. No proper gifts, no respect for tradition. My uncle said my father had ruined himself marrying a foreigner, and I was the proof. A cousin whispered that I probably couldn't even use chopsticks properly. They watched me eat and commented on my technique like I was a zoo animal attempting human behaviors. I kept my face neutral, pretending to be lost in the rapid Korean flowing around me. Inside, I was cataloging every insult, not for revenge, just for clarity. I needed to know who these people really were. The comments got worse over the following days. My aunt Samin told my grandmother I was useless around the house because Americans didn't teach their daughters anything practical. My uncle's wife said I was probably only here for inheritance money since my father had mentioned I struggled financially. That wasn't even true. They debated whether my grandmother should change her will to exclude me since I wasn't really Korean anyway. A teenage cousin asked her mother if mixed people could even be trusted, and her mother said you never knew where their loyalties were. I helped my grandmother to the bathroom, made her tea, rubbed her feet when they ached. The whole time, my relatives sat in the living room discussing how disappointing I was and how my father should have married a proper Korean woman. They'd glance at me when I returned, switch to English, and ask if I needed anything explained. I'd smile and say, no thank you, understanding everything